The man who called himself David Miller was the kind of guy you'd pass on the street and forget the moment he turned the corner. He worked in a mid-sized architecture firm in downtown Chicago. Cubicle 3B, second row from the left. Punctual, polite, invisible. His ideas got hijacked, his lunches got stolen, and his manager, Frank, spoke to him like he was furniture. At night, David went home to a small studio apartment above a laundromat. No TV, no plans, just silence, frozen meals, and his old landline phone that hadn't rung in months. Until one night it did. Ringing. He blinked at it. Weird, he muttered. No one ever called him. Not even spam. He picked up. Hello. A pause. Then a calm, assertive voice. David, you need to stop letting people walk all over you. David froze. Who is this? You already know. Click. He stayed up the entire night, replaying it in his head. The voice sounded familiar. Not exactly his, but close enough to give him chills. The calls kept coming. Every morning at 4 a.m. Without fail. Each time, the voice offered advice. Precise, personal, powerful. Ask for credit on the Jefferson Project. Move your desk to face the window. It'll change your mindset. Stop ordering takeout. Cook. You'll thank me later. And the scariest part? It all worked. David started walking straighter. He wore better clothes. One day, he interrupted Frank mid-sentence and presented a design concept that stunned the entire boardroom. They gave him his own team the following week. Life was finally happening. Even Emily from HR started noticing him. They had coffee. Twice. He laughed more. Slept better. The city even looked different. Brighter. But still, every morning, ringing. 4 a.m. Same voice. Same calm. Same eerie control. One night, Emily stayed over. David forgot to unplug the phone. 4 a.m. Ringing. He bolted upright. She groggily asked, "Why do you have a landline?" I use it for work," he lied. She rolled over. David picked it up. "Stop seeing her," the voice said. "What?" he whispered. "She doesn't understand you. She never will." He slammed the phone down. Cold sweat on his neck. He went to the phone company. No call logs. No record of any incoming calls at that hour. He called the number back. It didn't exist. He set up a recorder. The next call came as usual. This time he played it back. It was his own voice. But calm, measured, almost detached. Was it a recording? He saw a psychiatrist. Harvey. David spilled everything. The calls, the transformation, the voice that sounded like him but wasn't. Harvey nodded slowly. David, sometimes when the mind is pushed too far, it creates coping mechanisms. Parts of you might split to protect the core. You think I'm making these calls to myself. I think a part of you believes you are. But David wasn't convinced. He bought a new landline, completely different brand. Changed his number. Yet the calls kept coming. Then one morning, everything collapsed. Emily stormed into his office. "You called me last night. You said horrible things. You threatened me." David shook his head. "I didn't. What are you talking about?" "Frank fired him the same day. You called me at 2 and told me I'd regret ignoring you." David hadn't touched the phone. He drove to the edge of Lake Michigan, phone in hand, hands trembling. He hurled it into the water. But the next morning, 4 a.m., his mobile rang. Unknown number. He answered. The voice was waiting. "I told you, David. You can't get rid of me. I am you." His knees buckled. Months later, David checked himself into a wellness facility under the suggestion of Dr. Harvey. Diagnosis, dissociative identity disorder. He wrote Emily a letter, apologizing, explaining, hoping. In therapy, he began to understand. As a child, he had an abusive father, a mother who pretended everything was okay. So David split, created a version of himself that could stand up. A protector, buried deep. And after years of silence, that voice finally found a phone. 6 months later, David lives in a quieter town now, teaching design at a community college. He doesn't own a landline, keeps a single flip phone off most of the day. He still hears the voice sometimes, but not through the phone, just in his head, coaching him, challenging him, reminding him of who he once had to become. just to survive. He smiles more now, and every morning at 4 a.m., he wakes up without an alarm. Not because of the call, but because he no longer needs it.